Hello and welcome back again to another video tutorial of Royce Academy. In this video tutorial I am going to discuss on another important topic of food processing. In this topic I am going to deal with how pasta is being processed in industries. Okay. Let's have a look at how the pasta processing is being done. What are the necessary steps that are being involved in this pasta processing? Firstly, okay, so before going on to the flow chart of the pasta processing, I need to mention it that there is a machine called pasta machine, where it might be a handmade pasta machine or hand pasta machine or industrial pasta machine, where lots and lots of batch sizes are being done. Okay, where in bulk the pasta processing is being done, obviously. Now, the wheat that is being particularly used in the pasta is called durum wheat or the 00 flour wheat. 00 flour or durum flour is actually a very hard kind of wheat because the gluten content is almost 15 to 17% in case of the durum flour, or it might be 12 to 15%. Okay, and in case of 00 flour, this is a special kind of flour that is available in Brazil and Rio de Janeiro, and also in the outskirts of South America and USA and all, Texas and all, Mexico and all. In those places this particular type of flour is available. It's called 00 flour. In India also the 00 flour for the pasta manufacturing is being cultivated in the southern parts of India. Okay, and also in the northwestern part of India, like in the places of, in the vicinities of Rajasthan and Gujarat. Okay, in Punjab also, where the pasta manufacturing or local pasta manufacturing center or the Nestle's pasta manufacturing Nestle's, Maggi pasta and all those manufacturing centers are prevalent over there. Present over there. The industries are particularly present over there. Now this 00 flour pasta is actually a special kind of wheat or a special kind of flour where the gluten content is almost 17 to 20%. It's very much tough in appearance, very much hard, from which specifically the macaronis are being formed. Okay, the local macaronis that are out in the market, the 100 grams of packet or 200 grams of packet, not the Maggi pastas, the local packets without having any proper label and all, because those are coming in transparent plastics and all out in the local market. These local pastas, those are manufactured particularly in those. This flour which is being used for this particular type of pasta manufacturing is a 00 flour. And now this 00 flour, and in some cases, in order to make the pasta or the macaroni more consistent and shelf life, in order to make them a little bit of hard in appearance or a little bit of elastic, more elastic in its textural property or chewiness, the durum flour is being mixed with the 00 flour, or the durum wheat is mixed with the 00 wheat. Okay, there are several proportions in which they are being made, because there are different dimensions of pastas that are locally available all over the globe. Okay, all over the world. These are like twisted pastas, the macaroni pastas and all, and also the cylindrical shaped pastas. Okay, these are the three kind of pastas that we have commonly come across, and this is more abundant all over the abundant globally. Okay, so this is what different proportions are there of mixing the pasta, processing it. Now, in case of pasta processing, let us give the heading as pasta processing. In the first step, we have ingredients, raw ingredients, storage. Okay. Raw ingredients, storage. Now, this raw ingredients means either the 00 flour or the durum flour or both together in definite proportions as per the requisite type of pasta that is needed. Now, from this raw ingredients, after the raw ingredient comes the step of the premix. Pre-mixing of these raw ingredients with the required set of desired set of the concoctions, the desired set of condiments that might be needed, or the desired set of the lubricants or the additives, the humectants and propellants and all that, those are needed before subjecting the premix, before subjecting the entire premix of the raw ingredients into the processing section, okay, into the extrusion section. Okay, so before that, in the premix, different kinds of this food additives like the propellants and humectants and all, and oil and fat and all are being introduced, okay, in order to have that smooth consistency or melting or plasticizing consistency within the extrusion chambers. And also all these additives that are being given, like the propellants and all, and also the coating agents that are being given in this premix, those also have a very high and specific value for protecting the monosaccharide units or the monomeric units of the proteins, the amino acids and oligopeptides and all, because within the extrusion temperature, due to the high pressure of the shearing, stress and strain, the temperature would rise above 150 degrees Celsius. At that 150 degrees Celsius, the degradation of the carbohydrate or polysaccharide chains or the protein chains is very much obvious. So in order to protect those things, the propellants and the humectants and the colloidal suspensions of the butter and all, or different kind of virgin oils have been given in order to protect or coat the monomeric units that are being broken down or that are being released due to the breakdown of this complex polysaccharide or the polymeric chains of the proteins. While the premix is being processed, where the entire batter or the entire dough is being processed for giving rise to the final end product. Okay, within the extrusion chamber. Now, after the premix is being completed, after premix comes the third step. The third step is nothing but, after premixing, once the premixing is being completed, this ingredients are being, premixed ingredients are being fed. Premixed ingredients are being fed within what? Fed into the feed hopper or the hopper, the conical hopper that is present on the extrusion machine. Okay. Now, after this ingredients feeding part is completed, comes the part of mixing again, kneading, shearing, melting, plasticizing, nothing but entire extrusion. Nothing but the entire extrusion phenomena is happening. Now, after the extrusion process has happened or the extrusion process is completed, after that, what the step that comes is cooling. Fifth step is cooling. This particular step is very much necessary. Why? Because in case of pasta, in the extrusion temperatures here, cold extrusion is being actually done. Cold extrusion, where the temperature rises max to max up to 120 degrees Celsius, not more than that. Okay, cold extrusion, and the temperature is subsequently not even 120. The temperature in case of the pasta processing, only in case of pasta processing, rises max to max up to 85 degrees Celsius. Okay, where the gelatinization of the starch is happening. Now, why the temperature is so much low? Why the temperature is achieved so much low in case of specifically the pasta processing? Because at 85 degrees Celsius, this is the standard set of temperature that is to be achieved in case of cold extrusion. Often the temperature might rise above 85 degrees Celsius. It might rise up to 100 or 120 degrees Celsius depending upon the time of the kneading, time of the extrusion, that is time of the shearing, melting, pasting and all, for how much time the entire extrusion process is happening, depending on the type of that. Okay. Now, when the control panel or the manual, the desired set of manual or the control operative keys of the extruder machine is being set for a longer period of time, and the die cutter and all, that is not being the die cutter, the outlet of the valve of the orifice of the die cutter is not open. So in that case what happens, even though the entire batter or the entire mixture is being plasticized or melted, the entire mixture would remain within the extrusion chamber. And in that case what would happen, if the entire mixture still resides within the extrusion chamber, the residence time is more. Okay, the expansion ratio also becomes gradually less, because it has reached to a particular limit of expansion where the maximum degradation or breakdown of the complex polymeric or the polysaccharide chains have happened. So it is not possible for further expansion. But if the residence time is going on increasing, then the molecules that are present, the monosaccharide or the monomeric molecules even though which are present, will start degrading. Okay, now when the orifice of the die cutter orifice of the extruder machine is being opened, finally the valve is being opened, due to the pressure of the extruder machine screws and all, due to the pressure, the pasta is being, the entire mixture is being pushed out in the form of the desired shape of the pasta that is being needed. Okay, the desired requisite shape of the pasta. So the cold extrusion is being done. The temperature is controlled up to 85 degrees Celsius, where venting is immediately done along with the extrusion operation. If the venting is not done, venting means the removal of the venting out, ventilation of the excess heat, then the excess denaturation of the protein or excess degradation of the protein, polysaccharide or the monosaccharide units would happen, and then the refurbishment or reformation of the protein along with the starch units or the monosaccharides unit would not be possible. In that case, it would be the product would be a faulty product. It would not be able to achieve that hard consistency, that high elastic consistency at the end. So that's why the basic temperature is 85 degrees Celsius. Now in course of processing, the temperature might rise up above 100 degrees Celsius. So after the extrusion is being done, cooling is very much necessary. This particular step here is very, very important, because without cooling, the immediately if it's subjected for drying, okay, any kind of drying, it is there also the temperature would be a little bit higher in the drying machine and all, because some hot air is being given, or continually the blower is being given or sparger is being given, the machine also would carry some kind of hot air, some amount of hot air which cannot achieve the desired hardness for making the shape of the pasta. Okay, which cannot achieve the desired durability of the pasta while it's packed. Okay, so cooling is done, which is very much necessary. After cooling comes the step of cutting. That is cutting the pasta in its desired length, and then after cutting, finally the last step, that is packaging is coming. Oh, okay, sorry. Here after cooling, there is another step, actually drying. Okay, I missed out that part. Packaging is actually the last step. It's the 8th step, and this one is the 7th step. Yeah, that's a very important or crucial part I missed out here. That is, after cooling, the drying section is very much necessary to consider. Okay. The drying is very much necessary, because this is also a very important step, because if drying is not done, then the non-sticky property of the pasta or the dryness of the pasta, when we lose out from the when we open the packet of the pasta, then we see that the pastas or the macaronis and whatever it is, whatever type of pasta it is, those are present in very dry consistency, right? Now the dryness is being achieved with the help of this particular step where air puffing is done. The deoxygenated air or the hydrogen ion generated air or inert gases are being used in order to dry the pasta. And after this entire process is completed, this entire drying process is completed, comes the step of cutting. The seventh step here is cutting. Now after cutting, last step finally is packaging. Okay, so this is what the cooling, I need to mention here another thing. The cooling temperature is about up to 50 degrees Celsius. Okay, 45 to 50. It is being cooled, and when drying is being done, then the temperature set comes to ambient, that is about 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, and after the cutting is being done, the pasta is cut and then packaging of the pasta is being done. Okay, because if once it is getting cooled to 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, then cutting the pasta would be impossible. So the drying is being done. Drying is being done at 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, and after the drying process, while the pastas are being dried, these two processes are done together, because these two processes are done together actually. Why? Because the cooling is done to 45 to 50 degrees Celsius, where the pastas are still, the texture of the dough or texture of the consistency of the consistency of the end product. Okay, the pasta product, the starch gelatin or the starch wheat slurry, the consistency of that slurry, which is in the form of extruded shape, that extruded slurry is still soft or still soggy at 45 to 50 degrees Celsius. Now it is being dried up to 25 to 30 degrees Celsius along with the cutting process, because once it's dried up to 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, after that cutting the pasta or cutting the hard macaronis and pastas, the hard texture of them is impossible. It would break all the pastas. It would then the desired shape of the pasta, achieving the desired shape, would not be possible. So this particular step, that is drying and cutting, is done together, where the temperature from 45 to 50 is being reduced to 25 to 30 degrees Celsius along with the cutting section, and finally it is subjected for packaging. Okay, so this is how the pasta processing is being done in the industries. So if you like this video, if you like this video, please subscribe my channel and share the video as much as possible. Hit the thumbs up button and comment down in the comment section below. Okay, thank you.